QA is going to count you off for that background noise.
I don't care. I got counted off for what? The 5 seconds at the beginning. I'm tired of that shit.
What do you mean the 5 seconds at the beginning?
They said I don't talk 5 seconds after the call picks up.
Because half the time they only hear the last, little bit because it takes a second for them to connect.
I know that.
Because I said thank you for holding. This is Chris, or thank you for calling Ascension. This is Chris, and like who's it? I didn't hear you or something. Like, well, I
Yeah.
better
Oh,
give it a couple seconds.
I'm so over the.
Thank you for joining another episode of Hoosier Nerds podcast. This is Chris and Chris. How may we help you? We're just bitching about our job like usual.
Why is the doctor leaving? What am I supposed to do?
Let me just tell you this, everybody. If you have a doctor, which I hope everybody does, get a doctor if you don't, because if you need a doctor now, it's better to have one, it's better to be established at one than, have to wait a month when you need to see a doctor yesterday.
I'm so sick of, like, they blame me because the doctor's, I don't know, talk to the doctor. Well, what am I supposed to do? Freaking old people. It makes me realize how horrible old people are.
It's
Sit around and wait for their doctor's appointments. That's all they live for.
That
and
is
bitch
it.
and moan.
And I love when old people call and they're like, I've been a patient of Dr. So and so for 20 years. I'm like, cool.
Yeah, I've heard that too. And then
I think
I'm
I let it
leaving
slip
Ascension.
once too.
Like, I care. I don't want to be part of it. I'll go somewhere else. I'll go to another organization and then get a doctor there. Bye. Like,
you're not gonna have any better luck anywhere else.
Who cares? I don't care. I mean, I'm sorry that your doctor's leaving, but welcome to the. I told some lady today. I was like, welcome to the new normal. I said, you don't have to like it. I said, but this is what we got to deal with. So, it is what it is.
What happened in Jacksonville with us? A new company came in, offered a bunch of doctors a boatload of money, and they had to shut down 3 or 4 offices because they offered for a ton of doctors a ton of money. Like our boss told us that they like doubled a lot of their salaries.
I think a lot of it is it's politics within the organization, and this is every organization has politics, not just one. Every.
Oh, I know. Yeah, anywhere you go, you got to deal with
especially medicine. Medicine is politics. Insurance.
All 3 of us here work in the medical field to a sense.
I think it's just a lot of it has to deal with politics and insurance and billing and
the
patients are a pain in the ass. And
the biggest problem I think is medical companies bow down to the insurance companies.
Yeah.
And now this is me coming as a patient. I don't think insurance companies should be saying, if somebody should get something or not. That should be the doctor.
Insurance
people are not medical.
In the long run, I blame medicine because they've created the monster. They've created the monster of let's hand out pills like we're handing out candy. Let's get people. Let's try this. Let's try this. Let's do this. They've created it themselves. I don't feel sorry for them. I really don't.
Well, that's one thing I've ran into since we opened up our new Georgia offices. Everybody in those Georgia offices are on Hydro or Oxy. Since they opened up, I've had more people call and I need to get a refill on my Oxy. And those are the most rude people. If they are like if they're going to be a day late on getting their pain meds, they're the most angry people.
Yeah. Yeah. Instead of doctors healing people, they just want to lead them on and lead them on, lead them on. I don't feel sorry for them. It's doctor's fault. So there we go. That's how I feel about that.
That's all I got to say about that.
I mean, I thought I was turning into an old person until I hear old people, and it makes me realize I don't want to be an old person like that.
Okay, Boomer.
Oh my god. Dude, I sometimes watch that movie. I watch that. What is it? A Man Called Otto. with Tom Hanks.
Oh yeah.
That's a great movie, but he's a grouchy old man. And he like makes sure that the parking passes are in the windows where they're supposed to be. It is where his little townhouse area is, and he gets on people for being noisy or not picking up trash, and like he's like the Nazi of the neighborhood, you know. And I'm like, oh my god, that's gonna be me if I'm not careful. I don't want to be like that.
Did you see this breaking news a couple hours ago?
What breaking news?
Pat McAfee is going to join ESPN.
For what?
Hold on.
He's already on ESPN. He's on the
Pat McAfee show will be hosted on ESPN now.
Oh, that he can't swear.
Of this fall. Nope.
Well, there goes the fun.
I'm trying to read. It's nothing much. Stupid little article. I don't know. I'm not too happy about that because, I'm happy for him and, the money he's making. But then I'm like not happy because I like his unedited self. And being on ESPN, we know he's going to get edited.
He will get edited.
But whatever. I don't listen to him as much as I used to anyways. Not that I don't want to. I just don't have the time.
Yeah, I don't listen to a lot of stuff. I like watch. I watch stuff. What I watched today. Oh, like Gilligan's Island. God, Gilligan's Island is so freaking hilarious, and it's so politically incorrect. Like they put up disclaimers. They put up disclaimers before the show about this show portrays natives in a very bad way because they all talk like we on the island, they all talk like that. And they all have their face painted, and it's very stereotypical. I never realized it, but like today, this tribe was trying to find a husband for his daughter, right? And she was kind of big, and she fell on top of Gilly, and he's like, I don't want to marry her. Nobody's gonna want to marry her. Look what she looks like, or something. I was like, oh my god, that's awful. So, Gilligan's Island is very politically incorrect, and I laugh at it every day.
Is that your go-to thing to watch now when you're working?
Well, it's on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays is Gilligan's Island, and then Thursdays and Fridays is the Andy Griffith Show. Because I've seen them all 100 times, and they can just play in the background. I don't have to be distracted by the episode. But yeah, and then there's South Park, and I couldn't help but freaking laugh because that freaking episode with Cartman joining the Special Olympics today was on today. Durr! I was like, this kid is such an a-hole. Like, he's complete a-hole. And he loses. He's like, he loses, even though he's like, he's not disabled.
Oh yeah, because Jimmy is
different size shoes in the race. So
yeah. Well, yeah. They give him an award for being coming in last.
$50 to Shakey's Pizza.
Yeah, and Jimmy called him out on it because he's fake, and she was cheating.
And then he has the big monologue at the end about juicing, and it's like Barry Bonds and like other.
Yeah, Barry Bonds, Mark McGuire, and Jason Giambi were there. And he goes to sign up. And they're like, "What's his disability?" And she's like, "Honey, what's your disability?" He's like, "I'm retarded." Dude.
How am I supposed to know? I'm retarded.
Oh my god. Oh man, that's what that show was funny. Jimmy was beating his girlfriend because he was juiced up on steroids. Oh man, I won't get much in this week. IndyCar practice at 10 o'clock tomorrow, so I'll watch it. So I'll watch Gilligan's Island. Maybe maybe it's just Monday and Tuesdays is Gilligan's Island and Wednesday's Andy Griffith. So I'll watch Andy Griffith till 10 tomorrow. So
that ain't bad. I've been I'm busier than you. I can't sit there and watch a full episode, but I watched all of they finally released all the latest season of Rick and Morty, and on Friday I watched the entire season at work. And it's probably the last good season of Rick and Morty we're going to get because not Dan Harmon. Who's the other guy?
Justin Roiland.
Yeah, he got accused of abuse or sexual assault or something, but it's coming out that it's kind of fake. But he's already been fired from the show.
I was thinking about this. What did he get? What did he say something and he didn't say something or something?
No,
or what?
His wife accused him of beating her or something, but then it came out that she was lying. But he was already. But I don't know if that's completely true though or not. I had to look it back up.
So let's think about this. So I was when I went to the IndyCar race this past weekend, right? Which I'm not going to talk about right now. But so. In downtime, they play music over the PA system, right?
Yeah.
And they were playing Smooth Criminal by Michael Jackson, right? Which is a great song. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I was singing along with it. But so he got accused how many times of child molestation and paid off families?
He went, 3 times to court for it at least, that I remember?
Meanwhile, this kicker for the frickin' Buffalo Bills gets cut by the team, gets his name raked through the coals because they said he was part of a gang rape in college, and then it just came out that he wasn't even in the house when the crime occurred.
He's taking it to court too.
He should. He got canceled. I mean, he literally got canceled by the whole league, by his football team. They didn't stand behind him. They didn't say we're going to investigate before we do anything.
They didn't just put him on an exempt list or something. While it's investigated.
He lost his job. He lost his career. I mean, hopefully he signs on with another team. I hope that happens for him.
Well, the problem that's going to come up is how's he going to prove that it was because of that? All they got to say is, his contract was up.
Well, they cut him for that reason.
Yeah, but they can't. They have to be able to prove it without beyond doubt in court.
They cut him due to the investigation.
Yeah, that might be the reason, but they got to be able to prove it in court, is what I'm saying, and they're not going to be able to prove it in court.
Well, they can't now because he wasn't even at the scene of the crime.
Well, yeah, but
how can they cut somebody? They're cutting people based off of hearsay, off of accusations. They're acting because they're so scared of being canceled out themselves that they're ruining people's careers. I just think it's funny we have yet to cancel out Michael Jackson because he's Michael Jackson. Is that why we haven't canceled him out yet?
He's big enough.
I mean, I just thought I was just sitting there because I was just sitting there in the hot sun baking, and they're playing. I'm like, ooh, this is a good song. And I'm like, this makes no sense at all. How this even happens.
Well, but it's turned into guilty until proven innocent, and then even after you're proven innocent, you're still guilty.
I mean, what's he gonna do? End up in the XFL?
Probably.
Or the USFL? I was watching the USFL game on Sunday because it was on. I was watching the end of it because it was on before the sports car race, and there's like 60 people in the grandstands. It was Philadelphia and New Jersey, I think. There's like nobody there. How are they going to make it? They got no gate. It's worse than an Oakland A's game.
Well, St. Louis was selling out every game.
Well, that was XFL.
Oh.
Yeah,
I can't keep track of all these.
Well, St. Louis has a football. St. Louis don't have a football team.
True.
They got that big dome that sits empty. Monster
My problem
truck.
is I don't care about football. Well, after college and NFL, I really don't care anymore.
No, I mean I was going through my, I was going through my photos, but I had it on but like I said, I was watching the last few minutes of the game just because it was a race on afterwards. I'm not going to turn a game on and watch it. So, but then I forgot that I could watch the race on Peacock because the game went into overtime. So I shut the game off so I could go to Peacock and watch the race on Peacock.
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 I think I'm getting ready to lose it. I had it free for like a year, and I think I'm getting ready to lose it.
Why did you have Peacock for a year free?
Because I got the thing that makes dumb TVs smart. Because my TV's old and legitimately the newer apps don't fit on it. They're so big.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like HBO is too large to fit on my TV.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
No.
That's crazy. It's going to
But
turn to Max next week, I think.
I don't want to buy a new TV because the TV still works, but it's showing its age.
So buy what you call it? Buy one of those 4K things that you stick in the back. A Fire Stick.
I already got a Fire Stick.
Oh, well, then use a Fire Stick.
I mean, Peacock really doesn't have anything I'm gonna miss. So
I don't watch it. I watch it for the racing.
I watched it during the football season for football, but I also have Paramount Plus, which gets football during the football season. So it's not really gonna bug me too much.
Yeah, I'm tired of hearing race fans they complain because, Peacock this and it's on Peacock. I'm not paying $5 a week. Didn't we had a discussion last week,
It's
right?
not water.
Did we have a discussion last week? People complaining. I was telling that. Yeah, because I said that I would be more than happy to pay $5 a week out of my mowing money, or $5 a month out of my mowing money to have it.
Yeah.
So they're putting the NFL game, a playoff game, on Peacock?
Only on Peacock?
Yes.
That's gonna get bad review. That's gonna get bad numbers.
It's just the Saturday wild card weekend
Yeah.
game.
Oh, a game no one's gonna watch anyways. So
We always watch it because it's the playoffs. You don't watch them, Chris, because you're not allowed anymore. But we watch them.
shut up.
What's the Colts record? Did you see their schedule?
Oh yeah, let me pull it back up though. Hold on.
I'm guessing. Now I want to see it too because
I'm gonna go. Let's go through each game, and then we can do it for the Cowboys too if you want, Tim.
I counted like 12-5 or something.
12-5. I think I made it 12-5.
So week 1, we are at home against the Jags. That's a loss. We haven't won a week 1 game in years.
There's 0-1. They play the Texans. I'm gonna say 0-2.
No, I'll say we'll get that one. I'm gonna say 1-1.
Okay.
Hold on, I need to write this down because I'm not gonna remember what I'm saying.
Ravens, they'll get beat.
1-2.
Rams, they'll get beat.
1-3.
Titans, they'll get beat.
1-4.
Jags,
we'll get them this time. We'll get them at the 2 and what would that be? 2-4.
2-3.
Cleveland,
They'll lose.
They'll lose.
They'll lose to the Browns. They'll lose to the Saints.
Carolina, that's a toss-up.
That's a toss-up.
I think Reich will coach his nuts off and beat us.
Patriots
will get embarrassed in Germany.
Okay, Bucks. I don't know.
The Bucks don't. Who's the Bucks quarterback?
Baker Mayfield. Is that right?
Let me look it up.
I think it's Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, it's Baker and Kyle Trask.
Yeah, it's Baker Mayfield. They'll lose that game.
They got a good defense. They'll lose that game.
Okay, so they'll lose that game. So how many games we got them at? 3.
Yeah,
they'll lose. They'll lose the Titans. They're gonna lose both games to the Titans. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Bengals, that's a loss.
Lose.
Pittsburgh always kills us. That's a loss.
Falcons will win.
We'll beat the Falcons.
I'm going to give the Raider game to the Colts this time.
I will too, and I'll give that last Houston game to us too.
So how many is that? 5 games?
Yeah,
5
and 9.
5 and no, it's 5 and 12, isn't it? It's 5 and 12.
Yeah, my bad.
And then I'm going to pull the Raiders schedule up and see who I got them losing every game. So, let's see here. They play the Steelers. Wow, opening night they play the Steelers. They lose. Chargers lose. Packers.
No, they don't. They play the Broncos opening night.
No, they don't.
September 10th at Denver Broncos.
Oh, you're
Raiders
right.
2023 schedule. Scroll up a little bit, numbnuts.
How many preseason games they got? Just
3.
one?
3 because they added a regular season game.
Right.
So they start at the Broncos, loss at
Okay,
Bills,
loss. Bills. There's 2. Steelers 3. Chargers 4. They're starting off 0-4.
I could say that they'll get one. They might get the Packers.
Yeah, may get the Patriots. They'll
They
lose
might
to
get
the Bears. They'll lose to the Bears.
Detroit Lions.
So we've got them at what? 2. I've got 2 wins. You've got 3
2 wins. No,
2,
yeah, I got 3. They'll
lose to the Lions.
Yep.
Giants loss. Jets loss. Dolphins. That's a toss up.
If Tua's hurt, let's put it that way.
So they win. Chiefs lose. Vikings lose. Chargers lose. Chiefs win. Colts win. Broncos win. So what's that? 3 games? I got them at 3 and 14.
I got them at 4 and 13.
And I hope they're that shitty. I hope they're that bad. And I hope they freaking fire Josh McDaniels.
You want to go over the Cowboys for Tim?
Yes, let's. Tim, pull your schedule up.
I got it pulled up right here.
That's what she said.
They start week 1 against the Giants. They'll win that one.
I always split the.
They always split the Giants, right?
I split every division game. So division games are always 3 and 3 in my. I like to think that division will at least split.
Yeah, that division's always.
Maybe if there's one team shittier, but I don't think we'll ever 6-0 anybody. So it's either 4 and 2 or 3 and 3 across the division.
Yeah. I think you'll 2-0 the Commanders, but the Commanders might get that last game because you're resting your starters.
We don't usually rest our starters, but especially because our division's so close, we don't.
Right,
we never really have the opportunity to.
You have a hard.
There's always one team in our division that's like real. Sometimes it's us. Sometimes we're the second team in the division that are trying to break into the. I mean, good example was this last year with the Eagles. Like if they lost one game and we won one game that weren't against each other, then we would have won because we had the tiebreaker over them. But yeah, I think we'll beat the Giants. I think we'll beat that Jets game because it's on my birthday and we're home. Cardinals, I think we'll beat. I hope we beat the Patriots 60-0.
San Fran might get you depending on if they're healthy.
Yeah, San Fran might get us. Oh, I can count that one.
Yeah.
Chargers. That's a win for you guys.
I think we'll beat the Chargers.
Oh no.
I think we'll beat the Chargers. I think because Keenan's probably not going to be there. I think we'll beat the. I think we'll beat the Chargers. I think we'll beat the Rams. Eagles and Giants are splitting. I think we'll smoke the Panthers. Commanders are the split. I don't think the Seahawks are going to pose much of a threat. Eagles are split. Bills and Dolphins are kind of a toss-up. I think
it depends if Tua's hurt or not.
We'll beat one of them and lose to.
I think you'll beat the Dolphins.
So
you'll beat the Dolphins.
Lose to the Bills. We're gonna beat the Lions, and then the Commanders split. So if if I say we beat the Commanders twice, that means we only have 2 losses from our division. We lose to the Bills and we lose to the 49ers.
Yep.
That's 13-4.
You got cupcake schedule.
That's a hard schedule. Looking at
this
that
is
from
literally-
last year, that's a
cupcake
tough
schedule.
schedule.
This is literally
They
the
always have a
first year. This is the
they
first
always have
year in a while that I felt like we have a very easy schedule. It helps that I feel like our team is better than it's been in like average over the last like 10 years, but this is the easiest schedule I've seen in a long time.
That's what happens. See, this is what happens to them. And I'm not but to me, it seems to me any team that has a cupcake schedule like this ends up in the playoffs, and then they get routed in the first round.
Well,
I
look
mean,
at the Colts.
That's literally the Cowboys' fucking MO. So it wouldn't.
Yeah,
really,
and that was
but-
it. Was what was it? A couple years ago, they only won. They only lost a couple games, but they literally there were that division was the worst division in the NFL at one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The NFC least.
Yeah, it was awful. That whole division. So, they dominated that, and then they had other easy games. So it really
but
depends.
last year, I felt like we had a pretty difficult schedule, and we ended up winning a lot. So
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
Dak
I think they pulled off
with
some wins.
Dak
I
being
didn't think
out
they
the
were going
first
to.
like 4 games of the season too.
I
But,
think the best
yeah.
test of you guys will be week 5 against the 49ers. That'll be the week that you can tell if your team's
Like,
actually for
I
real
could
or
easily see us win be 4-0 starting off the season.
Well,
Yeah.
and it depends on if Dak can last all season. If he does get hurt, how long is he out? Is it at the beginning of the season? You know what I mean? And all that timing plays into everything.
I mean,
Because he always
luckily,
seems to get hurt.
Last season put in work. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, the defense was playing S tier for those first 4 games, so it definitely helped him as quarterback. But we have like mostly the same team. There's a few like players we're missing, but then we grabbed like Stephon Gilmore or whatever. So
Oh, Tim, cool story. So I was working, my job making schedules.
Yeah,
and I
because I
answered
asked
a
this
call.
question this morning and I didn't get a freaking answer, but you tell Tim. See how it
Oh,
is. I got
Sorry.
you.
No, you didn't ask me a question. You said, "Oh, that's cool."
I said, who was it?
Oh,
I'm just giving you shit.
Treadwell. He played for the Jags, and I think he's on the Cowboys now. I answered
what
the phone.
position?
Wide receiver.
How did you know he played for the NFL?
Because he said so when he called. He's like, "Hey, I need some paperwork for my son to be sent over."
I don't see him on the Cowboys roster.
Give me 1 second.
Well, yeah, hi, I'm Treadwell. I play in the NFL.
No,
I
he
need
says,
some paperwork for my son.
No, he said I'm an NFL family. Here, I'll post it.
Does he play or is he part? Does he does he do traffic? Or
What do you
maybe
mean?
maybe he's a food vendor. Maybe he sells beer.
Oh no, I googled his name afterwards.
Oh, stalker.
He's been in the league for a minute since 2015.
What about him?
I just answered a call for him and talked to him on the phone.
Oh, okay.
Just did some work, got some paperwork for him for his son sent around.
Our cornerback core is actually pretty good looking at it right here. Trayvon and Stephon on opposite sides. Kelvin Joseph and Jordan Lewis for slot work.
He must live in Dallas and
He's a wide receiver. Maybe he's from Dallas.
Yeah, I think he that's where he was sending stuff. So that might be where him and his wife and kid is staying.
Playing for the Vikings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's on Seattle. It looks like he's on Seattle.
No, it looks like he's with the Vikings.
I don't know. It was just one of those interesting things. He seems like a journeyman. He gets, he goes around.
Oh, he's from Chicago. He played high school football. He played football in Chicago. He does look like a journeyman, which I mean, you can make a career out of a journeyman.
I'd love to make the money he's made in his career.
He was with the Seahawks last year. He started off. He was drafted by the Vikings. Went to Ole Miss. Played for the Falcons, the Jags, Patriots, Cardinals, Seahawks. Wow. Oh, off season. He was with the Patriots and the Cardinals, off season and/or practice squad member only, and he played for the Seahawks last year. So there you go. That's cool. I talked to a local news guy. He used to be on the Channel 6 News, and he was also. I didn't refer to him as that, but I asked him if it was the same guy. He did. He used to be part of the radio broadcast for the Indy 500, and back in the 60s and early 70s.
But you actually brought it up with him?
Yeah, I asked him because I'm like, is this the same person that used to call the 500 back in the day on the radio?
Oh, what'd he say?
He said, yes, it is. Back in the day, back when they had real race cars. And I was like, that's exactly right. I said, no, I buy old radio. I said, I listen to old radio broadcasts of the race. And I said, I have a copy of the 64 race that I listened to quite a bit. Oh, he's like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah, my dad was at that race. He's like, yeah. So that was a long time ago. Real nice man.
Yeah.
But I try not to, fanboy too much. But I just had to know. It sounded just like him. So it was him. But he used to be on Channel 6 on the news. So there we go. That was my local guy. I'll never get a race car driver because they all go through IU Med.
Oh.
Do you know that?
Well, a lot of them, they'll go through like their teams or whatever too.
Well, I mean, IU Med does. They provide everything. It's like IU Med is at the track.
Mm-hmm.
And the track has always been associated with Methodist Hospital because it's literally the closest hospital to the racetrack.
Well, that makes sense.
So it's no longer Methodist Hospital, it's IU Med. So I'm guessing everybody, every driver, every race team, every owner, every pit crewman, they all go through IU Med, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
So the people that run the Indy 500 for me and I couldn't attend. I'm not a fan of IU Med.
Why? So they made you difficult to get a pass?
No. Okay, so in 2020, so they moved the 500 from May to August, right?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So they were gonna they sold limited seats. It was all outdoors. They weren't gonna do any infield was closed. Blah 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 blah. Speedway went through all of this. Sold so many every other seat, things like that, except your group. And then like a week before the race, IU Med said, we don't think it's a good idea that you should have fans at the race. And the Speedway said, well, we're going to have the race anyway. This is based off of what the CDC says, blah, 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 blah. And then the next thing you know, they announced that there's not going to be any fans allowed at the race, which I'm beginning to wonder if IU Med said, you have the race, we're not providing doctors, we're not providing any kind of medical staff at the track.
Probably. They probably pulled something like that.
Dirty a-holes. But meanwhile, like a week or two later, they're racing in St. Louis, which is freaking 4 hours away from Indianapolis, with a crowd in the grandstands. So I watched that race yesterday.
Outside in the
outside.
Air, like
outside
the CDC
in the air.
Suggested.
And God, and like, if you think back, that the whole time was stupid. What are we doing? What did we do? What are we even doing? I didn't buy into it then, and I got in a lot of trouble, and people got mad at me and unfriended me on Facebook for it. But I stood by what I believed, and then you know what? In the long run, I'm not going to go, I told you so, I told you so, I told you so. But it's relieving to know that I was correct and don't trust the system. You know what I mean?
Quote unquote conspiracy theorist 1, regular scientist a million. Well, you got that one.
I will go conspiracy realist. I saw this. I follow dude, you should follow this too. You're into conspiracy theories, not as much as I am, because I don't freaking trust anybody. I follow these two I follow these occult bot. I follow them on Twitter, and Illuminati bot. Some of
I
their
follow
stuff.
Illuminati bot too.
That's a good one. I don't agree with everything they post, but for the most part, occult bot is pretty good. It's about the occult, and there's some stuff in there that's really interesting. But yeah, Illuminati bot is a really good. That's a good rabbit hole to jump down on Twitter. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm in the same way. I don't agree. I don't like everything they post, but there are some things that I'm like, huh. It at least gets a huh out of me.
Yeah, exactly.
But then you read the comments and you're like, sometimes the people in the comments just make you not want to believe anything.
Well, I don't believe everything that you read in the comments. This is proof right now. So like, okay, so I'm in various like fan rooms or whatever of the race, right?
Mm-hmm.
So somebody asked in this room today asked if Michael Andretti had ever hit the wall at Indianapolis, crashed in his career. And he did only once. He brushed the wall, which knocked him out, but knocked him out of the race in 1995. But as far as hitting the wall and doing major damage to his car, he did it once in 1985. And so I answered the question. Yes, in 1985, he blew a motor during practice, spun on his own oil, and hit the wall in turn one. A moderator for that room says he never hit the wall at Indianapolis and shut off the comments. I'm like, dude, and I've got proof because there's in the book, in the 500 yearbook, they do the 500 yearbook was awesome because they covered everything. They covered every day. Then they had this whole thing called Spin and Wreck Report, which they talk about what drivers hit the wall on what day and everything. It's right there in the 85 Indy 500 yearbook. I took a picture of it. I was going to comment, but the comments were turned off. And I noticed the guy that answered, he never hit the wall, is a moderator for the room. So I don't always buy everything that I read in some of these.
Well, it's the same thing that happened on Twitter and Facebook and everything. They started shutting people. They shut people down who would post anything that they didn't want. They still do it.
That's exactly why he did that too.
That's why Elon bought Twitter.
Well, I put a laughy reply, like instead of liking his comment, I put a laughy on it because he's wrong. And it says like expert. I'm like, expert my ass, you don't know anything. So the only one I didn't believe was the Illuminati bot goes off on 9/11 and like the whole Tannerite or whatever it was.
And every time I go to type something and I'm like, I'm just gonna waste my time.
Yeah,
if I type something because no one's gonna believe. I could post because the big thing that people say is like, well, it was shooting out the windows, 5 stories below. The debris was shooting out the side. Well, that's the pressure wave blowing out the windows as it goes down.
And then the crazy thing is, they're like, well, it doesn't melt steel. No, it doesn't melt steel. But when a plane cuts through and damages that steel, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Plus the way the Trade Center was built, the metal gets thinner the higher the building goes up.
Yeah.
So it sways with the wind.
And it was proven that they didn't do all the fire protection on a lot of the stuff to cut money.
That stuff was like 30-something years old too by that time. It was built in the 70s. So.
And a plane going, 400 miles per hour is gonna weaken a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, they're still saying, like Building 7, and I've always wondered how that fell or why it fell, but.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain weird things like that, and like other things. Well, and the whole it was a missile that hit the Pentagon. Well, there's a picture on that camera, like the security camera of a plane, and they're like, well, where's the plane debris? I was like, well, most of the plane is made out of basically plastic, so melted. And then they found, engine debris in the middle on the other side of like the Pentagon as it shot through.
But where's the pilot and the passengers of that
Yeah,
plane?
that's the one thing that never holds up is what happened to the passengers.
Because they say that the plane in Pennsylvania, it was. Well, I heard it. I had heard somebody talk about it being shot down. I'm still convinced it was shot down, but I do believe that it hit the ground at
All right.
500 miles an hour.
Who's in a wind tunnel? Hold on.
That's what I want to know. Are you driving?
It's Tim. Tim's in a wind tunnel. Anyways, no, I agree with that one, Chris. I do. I have no proof of it other than what I've seen online.
You guys waited 39 minutes to say something.
It wasn't getting bad until then. It was getting louder.
What an asshole!
I mean, I just left my fan on because I was like, they must not be able to hear it because
it just started like
I've
in
been
the last
saying-
minute or two.
Yeah. No, but I don't remember where I saw it or when, but I remember seeing something that it is highly probable that they shot it down, and then the story that the passengers fought back is easier to believe than the government shot it down. But that's
Right.
exactly what the government would shoot it down when they had the evidence at that point that it was going for the White House or the
White House,
Capitol
yeah.
building at that point.
And I mean, we all know how they changed that because what was the movie about Desmond Dawes? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
With Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield, the guy who wouldn't carry a weapon in the war. So Mel Gibson.
Oh, yeah, that's a good movie.
Okay, so they left stuff out of that movie because what he did in real life was that unbelievable.
Yeah,
So
I remember seeing that.
yeah, so if they do that in Hollywood, you can't trust the government. Look what they've done to America. Look what they've done to this country. I love America. It's not our government. If I end up dead, I did not commit suicide, Chris.
I would never commit suicide.
I would never commit suicide.
You heard it here, Tim. Tim, would you ever commit suicide? You might get Hillaried if you don't say it.
Especially this close to the 500.
Of course I wouldn't. As
He's going to be the one that does it to us.
As a gun's held to my head.
If I mysteriously disappear, Chris, you can have my Clone Wars IndyCar.
Okay.
If I mysteriously disappear, I hope it's aliens.
Chris could take me out because it was that Clone Wars IndyCar. Chris, no, I've never seen him. He did say I could have this IndyCar, though. It's on a podcast.
I have audio proof right here.
Nope, haven't seen the guy. Did he get his IndyCar? Do you know where that's at? I would like to really take it home.
Totally unrelated, but have you seen his IndyCar stuff? Because I'm taking it.
There's one with the Clone Wars on it that is really cool. And he might have said at one point that I could have it. And I have audio proof right here.
Yeah, if I disappear. And Tim, if I disappear and
It'll
in the
probably
next
be-
that Chris probably did it.
It'll probably be me and Chris.
So
Let's be honest.
if that's the case, then you can have the Clone Wars IndyCar just to piss you off because
Speaking of making Chris disappear, Tim, did you get your I saw Bo got his time off. Did you get your time off?
Yeah, I think Bo was taking care of it for both of us because I sure as hell wasn't gonna go in early to talk to anybody.
Well, I remember talking to him a few months ago. Him saying that they might not let both of you take the same time off because you guys do so much and do the same job or whatever.
I would just call out. Okay.
Yeah. Is there gonna be any women? Chris, there gonna be single women at the wedding? Maybe with daddy issues or.
I just so you know, me and Bo rolling in there like wedding crashes.
You're rolling in there like what?
Like wedding crashes.
Yep, that's what I'm doing too.
Hey, good luck with it.
Dun, 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 dun.
That never happens. Anything that you see during a wedding in any kind of movie never happens.
Like I'm thinking we're gonna go as important maple syrup businessmen from a maple syrup conglomerate.
When is the wedding? What date's the date, Chris?
June 24th.
June 24th.
Yep.
Hang on. I've got to Google something real quick. June 24th.
What's going on June 24th that can get me out of my friend's wedding?
Nothing. It's June 17th. You're clear.
Oh,
Hank
good.
Williams Jr.
I'm glad I come in second to whatever's going on June 17th.
It was Hank Williams Jr. is June 17th.
Did you guys? Oh, I not to just swap the subject, but I saw it just now. Did you guys ever see this thing about that new Cleopatra thing on Netflix?
Well, they got 1% because
Yes, because they're completely being racist to like Egyptians. Okay, were Egyptians white? No. Were they black?
Probably not.
No, they were Egyptians.
They were Egyptians. They were, tan skin. Think of what Egyptians look like now, but with less like Middle Eastern.
They're Middle Eastern. Yeah, they're Egyptians.
Yeah,
They're Middle Eastern.
They're Middle Eastern. They're dark complexion, but they're not. But right now, there's a big push to make Cleopatra black. But you know what Cleopatra was not? Cleopatra was not an Egyptian.
No, she was Greek.
Cleopatra was Greek Macedonian,
which is like Italian.
No, it's just north of Greece.
No. I mean, as far as like the olive skin.
Yeah, she would have looked like an Italian or a Greek.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
She would not have looked like Egyptian. She was the first. She was the first ruler of Egypt for hundreds of years to actually learn Egyptian, to speak Egyptian.
So probably like she had real hairy arms.
Her family decided was into incest to keep the bloodline pure. Her brother, who ruled before her, was mentally not really there. So, but it got like a 1 on Rotten Tomato, and people are just like blasting it. It got an 11% tomato meter and a 1% score. Metacritic gave it a 45, and the user score is a 0.1.
Well, yeah.
But they're just going to say, people reviewing it's racist and review bombing. So
when are they going to give up on the just entertain people? That's all anybody wants.
Well, did you see the new rules for the Oscars that you have to meet certain diversity criteria to even be?
Went off on them.
Mm-hmm. It's just stupid. Like, I don't care. Like, a lot of the Oscar bait movies I don't care about anyways, but this is just pushing it too far.
I used to watch the movies that were nominated. That maybe 5 years ago. And after a while, I just quit. I'm like, I just can't do this anymore. I'm not interested.
I watched that Parasite movie, and I was like, ugh.
The one that won Best Picture.
Yeah, a few years
ago. I tried to watch House of Gucci, and it's not a good movie.
Or Crazy Rich Asians.
I never saw that either.
I heard it was actually good from a few of my friends, but I was not. I watched a little bit and didn't really care.
I heard it was good. You know what is good? They should have won Best Picture and Best Actor was freaking Wolf of Wall Street.
Yes.
That's what should have won. Because that's a great movie. Overindulgence at its best. Did you see the Miller Lite beer commercial?
No, but I heard it's going up like Bud Light now.
Yeah, they're like, they don't want to, no more girls in bikinis. And, I was thinking about this. I'm like, women dress sexy. Women, not all women, but there are women. They dress sexy. They want to be sexy. They want they want guys that don't have a chance with them they want that attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, just leave it alone. If it sells beer, let it sell beer. That's what the company wants to do.
I don't care too much about the Miller Lite one as much as
I don't I mean, a girl in a bikini is not going to get me to buy beer. It might when I
No.
was in college, maybe, and I had the, I mean, if I had the girl poster, the beer commercial, the beer poster, whatever. But God, that's what I said. We can't even do that anymore. I'm telling you, the 80s was better, Chris. I'm just saying. Call me boomer all you want. At least we didn't get offended by bikini girls selling beer and got milk posters with a girl in a half shirt. This is half got milk, with their underboob hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
You know how popular that poster was?
Probably more popular than a lot of other things.
I mean, now posters of pretty women, they're going to be showing all kinds of ankle, I'm guessing.
There might be a little bulge.
A little bit of ankle, a little bit of hair because they grow their hair out, now. And I know I sound horribly. What is it? What's the word? Toxic masculinity. That's me. I'm that guy. Not really. I just believe that you should do whatever you want. That's just me.
That is just you, Chris.
That's right. Like I was watching, what was I watching? Oh, I was watching Dodgeball yesterday. Could that movie get made today? Because I don't think it could.
Aren't they making a second one?
Yeah, but like he calls them retards, and he says that they just says really horrible, offensive things, which I thought was hilarious. I'm not offended by crap like that. I don't get offended. I really don't.
When somebody says something that's supposed to be offensive to me, you know what I do?
Laugh.
I laugh. Like,
Laugh.
That's a good one. I didn't. I should have thought of that.
I mean, I don't. I just. I don't have. I can't believe there's so many people out there that's how they live their life, is worried about what is offensive and what's offensive, and what's offensive to you may not be offensive to anybody else. I just don't. I don't get. Society today is horrible.
Because everybody has a voice.
Everybody's got
People
a problem.
would have been laughed at the town square if they said stuff like they do today.
I'm surprised there isn't, public beatings in town squares. We should bring that back.
Like the old flogging they did, the self-flogging they did back in the day.
I think we should bring back flogging, and I think we should bring back, like, you steal something, you get your hands cut off, or at least a couple fingers. Like, let them know that you mean it. You know what I mean? And then
an eye for an eye.
Public execution. Let's bring back public hangings.
Bring back the guillotine.
Nah, that's a little bloody. And at least with the public hangings, you do have a shot of like the guy's head just getting ripped clean off by the jerking effect. So you got that.
Oh, so in nerd news, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No,
in
you're
nerd
fine.
News, 18 years ago today, Leroy Jenkins became a thing. Time's up. Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
I was thinking of I thought of a new, and I'll save it for next podcast, but I was thinking of movies that are politically incorrect. So I'm going to do like politically incorrect movie titles.
Didn't we already do a episode about movies that couldn't be made today, or was that the?
No, I'm changing the names of the movies, the movie titles.
Oh.
To make it more politically correct.
So instead of Spaceballs, Star Balls?
No.
There was a lot of Spaceballs stuff at Comic-Con. I forgot to tell you about that. There was like a whole booth selling Star Wars and Spaceballs stuff. They had Spaceballs, the doormat.
The t-shirt? Oh, really?
Spaceballs, the doormat, Spaceballs, the towel. I thought about looking to see if they had Spaceballs, the flamethrower.
You know why he did that, right? Because he told Lucas he wouldn't sell merchandise.
But
he had to get Lucas's. He couldn't let Lone Star look like Han Solo, so he made him look
like Indiana Jones.
He made him look like Indiana Jones, which is genius. God, we don't have genius directors like that anymore.
He's still alive.
I know, but we don't have like no up and coming. Like we had one with Todd Phillips. Like he made
James Gunn.
he made the Hangover movies, and now he's like, Judd Apatow was one too, but and so
Well, the
was
problem right now is comedy isn't as like people don't make comedy. Yeah, that's all it is. It's pothead comedy anymore. No offense to him, but that's all it is
Leave-
anymore.
You leave my
It's.
comedy alone.
Well,
I don't mind your comedy. Like How High, I love How High. That was a great movie.
I kind of like Friday. Actually, Friday's really good.
But we don't have like the good old comedies not made by Seth Rogen anymore.
No,
I'm so
right. That's
tired
what
of
Judd
Seth.
Apatow. Right. That's what I'm saying. Oh well, I made it. I want to apologize for making this movie. Shut up. Like, just make a movie. Make it comedy. Make it funny. I was laughing during Dodgeball because I forgot how funny it was. Oh, dude. Oh, what was it? Somebody stole. It was a line from a movie, but they stole it from. They stole it. I don't know what they stole it from. They stole it from Dodgeball. But I can't remember. Damn it! I can't remember the movie line. It's freaking White Goodman movie line too. And not nobody makes me bleed my own blood either. That's not the one. Do love that line though. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
The only line I can remember really from that is if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
I watched the extra added line or extra added scene. There's like 2 minutes extra. Oh God, this pisses me off because like somebody used it's like a famous movie line, but and White Goodman said it, but I don't know. I can't. Oh, jeez. This pisses me off. I don't think it can be made now because they talk about, he sends him a male stripper and. Oh shit. I don't know. I heard it in this movie. I'm like, that's where they got the move. That's where they got the line from. That's a great movie though.
Yeah, I might have to watch it again soon.
I would. It's on HBO.
I love when ESPN does the ESPN the Ocho Day.
Yes.
I don't like ESPN much anymore, but I give them props for doing the Ocho every year.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean, I don't watch much HBO. The only thing I watch on ESPN is the football game. I watched a couple college games, and
I'll watch a basketball game on it whenever if I got nothing else to watch.
or I'll watch Major League Baseball. No, I'll watch Formula One.
I'll watch their live sporting events. That's about it.
Yeah.
Does anybody have anything else?
This line from freaking. Oh, that's it. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
That's from a Community. That's where I first heard it.
Well, Deadpool says it.
I think that's I don't know where it's from originally. I know it's not Deadpool.
¿Dónde está la biblioteca, Pedro? ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Which means, and I know Deadpool says it.
Where is the library?
Right.
I remember hearing it first from the show Community from Dan Harmon.
Well, I think Community is. I mean, this goes back further than Community.
Probably before Deadpool, before Community. I don't know where it came from originally.
Dodgeball. Dodgeball came out in 2004. Community came out in 2009. And then Deadpool came out, what, 16?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, ¿Dónde está la biblioteca is from freaking Dodgeball.
Unless they got it from somewhere.
¿Dónde está la biblioteca? I don't know. Maybe it's from the electric company or something. I don't know. Damn, I don't have anything. I don't have I don't have any. Oh, Formula One's in trouble because they keep they keep advertising. Do you think they're doing this on purpose? So like they're using trademark stuff in their while they're hyping stuff.
What do you mean?
Okay, so like for the race in Vegas, it says it's the greatest spectacle in racing, and then at the Miami Grand Prix, LL Cool J was introducing the drivers, and he said the same thing. The greatest spectacle in racing is trademarked by the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Are they going to sue them?
They have told them to cease and desist.
Ooh, that's the first step.
But my question is, Formula One's got to know what they're doing.
They do. Well, it doesn't matter. Even if they get a cease and desist now, it's too late. They've already used it.
Well, they have to take it off of like anything that's like off of their Twitter feed. If they write this, come to Las Vegas to see a great spectacle in racing. Anything that's related to that, it is trademarked. The greatest spectacle.
Well,
in
it's like
is trademarked by the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
It's like nothing can use Super Bowl. You have to say the big game.
Or three-peat is trademarked by Pat Riley.
I didn't know that.
Yep. So yeah, they're trying to steal it, and like it's pissing off. It's not pissing just fans off. It's pissing off the Speedway because they use it as a bumper for the radio broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened was when they started doing live radio broadcasts, which I think was in 1955, the announcer Sid Collins needed a bumper to let radio stations know that they were going to commercial, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this lady that worked for the network says, just use greatest spectacle in racing. And that's how it started. So every bumper, and they still use it to this day. Stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing. And then you go into commercial break. But yeah, it's trademarked. And freaking Formula One's trying to steal it because they're stupid.
Well,
so
look at their $50 or $60 ham sandwiches.
It was Aogi or whatever it is. What is it?
Wagyu.
Wagyu.
Well, you know what's funny? We talked about that last week, and now I'm seeing it all over the place. People talking about it. So we were the first to do it again.
See, people stealing from us. They're listening to us out there, Chris.
We should send them a cease and desist.
We should. Yeah, I'm watching freaking Office while we're recording this, and it's the beginning where they're watching the DVD square, and they're waiting for the DVD square to go into the corner. You know how they fit it perfect. Mm-hmm. The bouncing DVD square where it says DVD video and it bounces all over the screen.
Yeah.
And like he's really excited because he thinks that they're listening to his speech when all they're doing is watching the DVD video box go bounce up and down on the screen, and they get excited because it actually fit into the corner of the TV screen. Sorry.
Hey, that's good entertainment right there.
But that's true. You never watched it like sitting in an office or in a classroom, waiting for that DVD video box to hit the corner of the TV screen to fit perfectly.
I never knew it actually did until I saw it for the first time.
Yeah, and then you got excited, right?
Mm-hmm.
See? Same thing. Easily entertained.
All right. But anybody got anything else or?
500 qualifying this weekend, so watch on TV or listen to your local radio station.
Peacock.
It's on Peacock. Satellite, Sirius Satellite Radio, it's on there too. There you go.
If you want to watch or listen to us, catch us at Pod Nerds on Twitter. Facebook at Hoosier Nerds.
Facebook.
You can watch and listen to us at YouTube, Hoosier Nerds Podcast. Or you can listen to us at your favorite podcasting sites like iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, and Amazon.
There you go. Take us out, Timothy.
And you'll never wonder who's your nerds.